Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Wild Hearts. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So today we're taking Wild Hearts for a test drive, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So EA Originals has come out with this game, Wild Hearts, which is it channels a lot of Monster Hunter, I would say. Monster Hunter is a series that's been out for years and has time to refine its craft, so to speak. Wild Hearts is a new player in that arena, and I think if you are a fan of Monster Hunter, you may like Wild Hearts as well. Now, I am playing the trial version of Wild Hearts, but hopefully seeing the gameplay here will help you decide if this game is for you to avoid that 60 gigabyte download just for the trial, let alone the complete game. So at the very beginning, you run through the whole tutorial, from the start. So unlike some trials, I think most trials probably go from the beginning because they allow you to save your progress if you in fact buy the game. So it starts from the beginning, just like a trial would. A demo, however, would usually plop you down in the middle somewhere of the campaign. So we find this little box that is singing to us, and then we find this old man wearing a mask, looking a bit like a tanuki in costume. And we're going to talk to this guy for, well, I would say longer than what's actually necessary. So this is providing kind of the background / introduction to the world of Wild Hearts. So I think it could have been pieced out a little bit more. So like this guy can give you a little bit and then you go on and you go get more background as you go along. So maybe it doesn't make sense, but you're not stuck several minutes into a conversation with a guy. So we'll pick it up after the conversation ends.
Yes, the epitome of the hunter creed you are. And what am I, you ask? Aha, simple musician, of course. My name is Musina, shall we say? You overestimate me. I am but a silhouette, present and absent in the same moment. Confuse me not with those of substance and power. Still, we are here to talk not of me, but of you. I wish to know every detail. From whence did you arrive in this land? Surely, whirlpools and wild waves abound in the southern ocean. No ship can cross, so I hear. Sadly, the days of hunters being revered in Hinomoto are long gone. To the west, samurai battle not kimono, but each other. Hunters facing hunger these days are many. Some have turned their hands to farming. others to thieving. Ah, yes. War. For power and influence, they maim and kill. They burn the very land they have a duty to protect. Even Kemonos and their war-ravaged barons. Not a bloom remains. So you leave your home and travel to Azuma by yourself, yet pursue a life as a hunter still. Why? What compels you to hunt? A test of strength. The heart of a true warrior you have. Certainly, to battle one kemono is to battle 100 men. But have a care. The line between fortitude and foolhardiness is thin. Ha! Forgive me. With age, a curious compulsion to counsel comes. Well, it is clear to me now. You have a strong will. And where there is a will, there is a way. Your goals may yet change. Recall as you journey on. A hunter yields not. Yes, Azuma may well be the place for you. Anyway, enough of this lengthy commerce. Your Nabipot has had ample time to stew. I will disturb you no more. You have a hunger to satisfy.
All right, I thought that guy would never stop talking. And here we get to see kind of character creation. Get to choose from 12 different avatars, so whoever you want to be at, whoever you want to look like. And I'm guessing they're all just presets and you don't have any other choices beyond that. So we'll just pick someone and then go from there. A lot of good choices. Oh, okay. So there actually is more to it. All right, so we won't go into all the whole thing. We'll look a little bit in the faces, the shapes, the eyes, and well, I do like the idea that you can have two different eye colors. There we go. So ears, skin, wrinkles, hair, beard, makeup, body, other details. Like I said, we won't go into all that. You'll have plenty of time to do that. And then, of course, choose your name and pronouns. So you've got plenty of choices that you can make there. But like a lot of games, you start off as this podunk hero with not a penny to his name or her name. And you've got to build your way from basically nothing to being, you know, the almighty hunter in this instance. All right, so we're continuing on with the introduction here. Looks like we've got a So these guys that you hunt are called kimonos, not to be confused with kimonos.
You recognize the signs, of course.
So you're not going on a shopping spree. You're looking for these aberrant animal
You will be trapped
slash vegetative hybrids that are roaming around causing chaos.
ice house.
Alright, so
Spoken like a true
apparently we're the strong silent type that doesn't actually talk,
quarry is closed.
or you don't get to hear
This will be the measure of
your character talk, which is fine. I mean, that's not unexpected, I would say. Although I would say in this day and age, it's certainly possible to throw that in. Alright, so we have not our first battle here, but probably the second. So you've got your dodge, your slash, 3 different types of slashes. And because we're a weak podunk warrior, our slashes do basically no damage. Now what's interesting is you take these guys out,
very good. Now, the
but they can recover,
venture on
I assume. Maybe not in front of you, but they will eventually recover.
venture.
So that's the only way that you get resources off these guys. And some of these guys are going to be more aggressive. Some of them are not going to be aggressive until you attack them. Or maybe not at all. They'll just try to get away. Speaking of getting away, the old man disappeared in a hurry. Alright, so we're going to go track down this kimono. See what's going on. All climbing requires stamina, and your stamina goes down really, really quick. Alright, so here's the kimono. On this nice summer day, we've got a blizzard going on around this ice wolf, essentially. Looks like something maybe took a chunk out of the wolf's face. It's hard to tell just by looking at the one side, but that's kind of the way it looks. So this is your first encounter with a boss creature. Ooh, that was bad timing on my part. Now what you'll notice at this point is that there's no, you have no life, no anything else. It's just you attacking and getting attacked. As I'm sure you're aware, a lot of, the first boss creatures, they tend to, well, they can take a couple different approaches. So either they make it where, make it a tutorial where you say, okay, you need to do this and do that, this, that, and the other in order to defeat bosses, unlike normal guys. Or they assume that you're not going to be able to beat the first boss, so you're basically destined to fail, which is what we have here. And then there's the third option, but we won't really talk about that. So we were set up to fail our first boss encounter from the beginning. The boss almost finished us off. Basically got giant ice chunks stabbing us in every direction, but the boss, the ice wolf, ran off for some reason. Tremors going at the same time, and I guess we're going to find out here. Now we see this giant rock kimono. Ah, here we go. This giant, like, rock bear. Obviously, the ice wolf is completely outclassed by that behemoth. And if we had no chance against an ice wolf, we certainly have no chance against him. So here we go. This is I would say the actual beginning. The actual beginning. Where you actually have, I don't want to say have a say, but where you're actually starting.
Yet a thread of hope remains, perhaps.
Now, we picked up some stuff before this, and I assume that will carry over to this point. But from here on out, it's the actual meat of the game, I would say. Ah, so the little music box we found had a little something extra inside, but we didn't know how to unlock it. The Tanuki grandpa actually figured it out for us, or knew from the beginning.
The hunters, only there will your journey truly begin.
He knew we were too weak to beat the ice wolf, but sent us in anyway to see if we had what it takes with time and experience. So what did that do? What did that do to us or for us? It's the little hook, the little thing that is going to differentiate this game from other games of the genre. All right, so we've got some healing water. So much like a healing potion or a med kit or whatever, you use one and then you get a certain amount of health back. All right, now there's no way we can climb this on our own, so we're going to need something to help us out. Well, that wasn't there before. All right, so here we go. We created a box. All right, so we created a box on top of a box. Slightly underwhelming, but I guess you gotta start somewhere. So there we go. So now we are able to scale the wall without running out of stamina. Because once you run out of stamina, then you fall. Karakuri. So that's our Karakuri. Basically creating stuff out of thin air. So L1 plus one of the buttons. And to dismantle, L1 and the right stick. Wonder if you get your materials back. Alright, Hunter Vision. So the tree and this rock looks like it has these Karakuri threads. There we go. And right at the bottom middle, it shows us how many threads we have. We can only hold 12, apparently. So we're going to make a couple more boxes here. Well, look at that. We can make three, one on top of each other. And look at that. We topped off our threads. Oop. Gotta push the button. There we go. And we're going to have to do it again because, of course, you can't just do it once and assume that we know what we're doing. Alright, so let's crawl our way up here. with our... I hope we can get more stamina at some point. Alright, so we've got some enemies. Kimono, which looks like they attacked another kimono. So we can jump up here and we can slice down, and that did 74 damage compared to like 11 for a normal hit, or 16 on a strong attack. And don't forget to finish him off. Got a couple different types of materials from that. Alright, and that also tells us, Hunter Vision also tells us which direction to go. So, as we're going along, there are Karakuri threads that we can get. There's, I don't know if we're going to be able to make it up. Nope. Need more boxes. There we go. Should be able to make it up there now. There we go. Made it to a new section of the map. Someone's injured for some reason, somehow. Alright, so now, dragon pits, these purplish things. Let's see. So we interact with them, and then later I guess we can upgrade them. And then that lets us build in the area. Alright, so we need to conjure Dragon Karakuri. Dragon, I think it's just like camp. Yeah, I can't upgrade it now. So sometime down the road, we'll be able to upgrade it, but maybe not yet. So we've got a fire pit. The campfire, warm yourself. Alright, so not what we're supposed to do yet. So campfire, draw the healing water, which we already did from the tree over there, and now we just need a tent. There we go, and now we've got fast travel because of the tent. So there we go. So whenever you see one of those dragon pits, interact with it, and then you can build a fire and a tent. And this kimono might have been the reason that this person was down. Got stuck in the... I'm thankful because it made a way for us to get out, which was as intended. Alright, so the first... This is going to be our first actual hunt, because obviously the ice wolf was only an introduction for how difficult they can be, and we weren't supposed to win that, or can't win that. Alright, there he is, the rat seed pod. Rage tail. I like my rat seed pod better. They're part animal and part vegetation. Now, I will say, one of the obvious differences between like this and Monster Hunter is that Monster Hunter have these absurdly large weapons for you to use. This one has more regular ones, but I find that the lag using the weapon in this game is much the same as in Monster Hunter. So you don't have that connection, that fluid feel that you're connected with the character in the game. You kind of feel like you're disconnected because of how long it takes for your character to act. Oh, he broke my boxes. How dare you? Yeah, jumping from the boxes, you can actually do a decent amount of damage compared to normal, but it does take, you know, an extra second or two to line up. And you've got to be you can't be more than a certain distance away. Oop, get out of the way. Yeah, just like that. Like, I'm like, oh, he's going to attack. I'm going to dodge. Nope, I'm still swinging the sword. You don't get to do all that. You get to see some attacks will deplete your stamina. Here we go. And they'll try to get away. So the kimono's running. We use the hunter vision to follow them, or you can follow them, but they're appear to be quite a bit faster, even injured. Oop, I need to go this way. Well, isn't this root bridge just convenient? There we go. Round 2. Oof. Right out of the gate. Got charged. There we go. Need to get some more healing water. And slam. Just slams that tail. You've got a couple seconds after the slam to get in there. Oof. Painful. Now, one thing I would have liked to have seen is a health bar for the enemy. I mean, maybe not realistic, but certainly useful. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Oh, he's down. Get him. Get him. Yeah. Doing very, very small amounts. 4 damage. All the way up to 23. Oh, he's running. Look at that. He's hurt. Knocking stuff over as he goes along. Get him. Oh, I thought I had him. Yeah, max out health while we're doing that. And take him down. Take him down. Ooh, and ended up on the other side of the tree with that attack. Now he looks like he's enraged. He has kind of like a fire or anger around his face and tail. So he might do more damage here in the last 10% of his health. Oh, and finish him. And there we go. Harvest the bits and pieces from our hunt. No defeats, so we get the maximum number of kimono orbs. Alright, so I'm going back to the person that was knocked out. Now they're back on their feet. You're a hunter? Never seen a hunter before, have you?
How can I possibly repay you?
So we saved her life
Sorry, I'm Natsume
because the kimono,
from Minato.
I don't know if she was hurt because of the kimono or if she,
Materials, but I must
if the tremors
kimono attacked.
had caused, you know, something like a tree or a branch or whatever to fall on her and she got injured and just ended up near a kimono as a result.
Well, a single look.
Not that important,
Questions at
honestly.
Come with me.
So one of the things I will say is setting up your own
There was
camp
a bridge there.
rather than having kind of a pre-made setup camp is good and bad. You know, it's a double-edged sword. Giving people freedom to do what they want,
I suppose
almost always a good idea.
steer the kimono and make it
But
jump in front of us.
if you don't give yourself enough
This is bad.
room because of you didn't know that there was going to be extra things that you could add on, expansions to your camp,
That's right.
that would be not so great.
I insisted. If the worst has happened, Wait. You're a hunter, though.
But this getup that we're wearing,
No living taking
I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure about it at all.
I'll do what I can to help as well, of course.
It's samurai meets ghillie suit.
I won't forget this. It was a
It certainly isn't, you know, you're definitely not going for the stealthy approach when you're hunting kimono.
You will need a decent
I mean, I suppose you could theoretically, but
We black
and we did actually in the very beginning. We did sneak up on a kimono, even though it was a more docile kimono compared to what the rage tail that we just took out.
our thoughts.
And as we go along, there's of course karakuri threads that we can get, so we can bring our threads back up to max after our battle. And of course, you know, resources and materials.
I wonder if there's anything here I can use as a makeshift work.
The campfire, you can set up multiplayer.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily drop in, drop out. Okay. We've got a map. All right. So the kimono orbs that we got can go towards these upgrades, so to speak. That should help us along. So as you take out more kimonos, you should get more kimono orbs, which then you can upgrade. It looks like your camp. Looks like you can upgrade your camp. So just looking at a couple of the different ones that are, you know, further down the road. All right, so now since we've upgraded to do or be able to do conjure a forge, we're gonna go ahead and bring a forge in here. And this is kind of what I what I mean by
Out of thin air? That must be some sort of
it's a double-edged sword, being able to put stuff where you want versus having things
right.
more or less set up for you.
I can make myself useful.
Because if the developers set it up for you, then you know that it's going to be fine, however they set it up, or should be. And then as your camp expands, there's already spots available.
Sure, I can come up with something that suits.
Kind of looks like my guy's got one dead eye. The one really shines brightly, the kind of sky blue. The other one is very, it's not as
Don't worry. I don't
luminous. It's not as luminous as the other one. The other one looks like it glows in the dark, and
Let's
The right eye looks like it glows in the dark. The left eye looks like it's, a black hole. It's absorbing all the light. Yeah, I have to say that
I'm a little limited
for
in what I can do here.
a lot of games, I don't want to say most games or all games, certainly not all games, the beginning it can feel really clumsy and awkward, either because you don't have certain upgrades, so you're intentionally underpowered, or because of the control scheme that everything is a little wonky or feels wonky in your hands. So, and this game is no exception. However, I would like to point out that there are a handful, I would say, games where it feels very natural from the beginning, even with being unfamiliar with the control scheme, that you can pick it up and just run with it from, day one. And that is the challenge for most developers, and I don't think a lot of them either
Do you have something particular?
consider it or think that it's necessary. It's kind of an afterthought, or they just say, well, the players will figure it out for themselves, or they need to figure it out, or whatever the case may be. All right, so now we got the forge so that we can actually make weapons, weapon upgrades, and then armor, and presumably armor upgrades as well. So we're only able to make a couple of items because we only have enough materials for a couple of items. They decreased our resistance to fire, but increased our overall defense and then resistance to other forms. So we've got that kind of rock, paper, scissors.
Of course, that means
You have armor that is good against
battlefront.
certain elements.
Is that
So if you know what type of kimono you're up against, you can wear the corresponding armor that will give you the maximum resistance for that kimono. And I presume
maybe worth holding off a little while to hunt
that
some more
that is important, especially
with materials
further on, where enemies, these kimono will become more and more powerful, and it'll be more difficult to combat them.
You're awful making Ichishige-san wait.
All right, so
You should have the best chance of
the Forge Master, blacksmith. I don't know. Whatever she is, she had a companion, and we need to go help them out because they might be injured, like she was, or even worse.
Get back safe for me.
I like how your little cape flaps up whenever you use hunter vision. That's very interesting. So we're going to do this one more search, and I'm gonna say it's another hunt. So we're gonna do one more hunt. Okay, so here we go. Build a hunting tower, and then the hunting tower will act as a radar scanning for almost looks like there's a swing or a way to get up there. Alright, so we found a kimono. There we go. So we'll just follow the hunter vision. Alright, and found something else. A little Asian pear looking dude. Tsukumo? Possibly. Or I might have butchered it. Basically a little helper to help you, and you can modify them back at camp. Alright, and there's a certain number of those that you can get. Okay, so here's a kimono right here. Sap Scourge. That's what the blacksmith was talking about. Ooh, he just clapped. Look at him rolling around. There we go. Death from above. 222. Holy smokes, that's a big... What is he doing? He just threw something at me. I don't even know what that is. Nope. Not close enough. There we go. Yeah, that jump attack really does a decent amount of damage. You get one hit that does over 100, so it's certainly worthwhile using it. Yeah, even with these, I think they're critical attacks, which does like normal damage plus another 50%. He's running away. Even though they're injured, I like how they're so much faster than I am. Here's another dragon pit, so we can have another fast travel point here. So I'm guessing every region has a certain number of these dragon pits. Oop, don't want that. A certain number of dragon pits, scattered throughout so that you can fast travel to different parts of the region to make it. Nothing came up saying that I had fast travel unlocked, so that's a little disappointing. Well, I'm glad there's no fall damage. Oh, there he is. He didn't go too far. Shooting. I don't think it's lava. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. And he shouts, and you're holding your head. Bam! Look at that. Look at that damage. Oh. Ooh, another hit. He's missing a horn. Just like Elliot from that one movie. I can't think of it now. With the bear and the reindeer. Or deer. I think Elliot's just a deer. He's down. Get him. That camera angle. Yeah, I'm not sure what he is. A beaver? A squirrel? A little too mutated. I do like the bamboo. That's kind of neat. Alright, so we're going to get something to eat. Just raw food. So I guess that's probably the minimum boost. You know what I noticed? Is that you can, when you lock on to them, you can actually lock on to different parts. So depending on what you're fighting, Jesus, taking down the whole forest. Oh, nice shot. Oh, I took out his other antler. Get out of the way. I'm going to pick up your antler here. I'm sure that's worthwhile. Used for something. Oh, he's running. He is running. Those jump attacks are overpowered. I think they could have given you a little bit more power for your regular attacks. And, giving you a little less power on those jump attacks, because those jump attacks are outrageous. Like, I know it's situational, like you gotta be pretty close to where the kimono is, but that's insane. 200 points of damage compared to 20. You're only doing 10% of a jump attack, and the jump attack only takes a couple of seconds to set up. So assuming you've got the threads, you can smack them, or you should be able to smack them. I got smacked instead. Alright, but we'll finish off here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Actually did it. Maybe I should say prayers more often. Gomen. Now, can you break this amber apart and set me free?
PlayStation